welcome to the City Show. Pat O Melia here. You a concerned resident there. That's why we do this show. I only got one piece of paper, but I'll bounce it around anyway. Bottom of the screen, you need to get in touch with me. You got some show ideas. You need some help with a consumer issue. I am here to help. You got all our streaming channels, YouTube, Facebook, live stream. You can download the app where we archive all our live stream and all our footage on live stream, all our various shows. And there's a lot of other programming there also. It's not just us, and it's free, so you can download that app. In the world of politics, and we're going to touch base a lot on this show today in politics. Some in Jersey City, some in Hoboken. Hoboken and Bayonne. In Jersey City, the former Ward B councilman, my buddy, Chris Gatson, has announced that he is going to run for council at large in Jersey City. He was the Ward B councilman, I guess about 4 years ago. He won a special election to fill the remaining term. What was that, John Holleran, was it? I forget whose term he filled. But he did a good job. He's going to run at large, but it's very difficult to win at large without a top of the ticket. And when we say top of the ticket, a mayor. And there's no other mayoral candidate outside of the incumbent, Mayor Stephen Fulop. In Hoboken, which we thought was going to be a dogfight election, but it's not turning out that way, Robbie Bala has picked up a huge endorsement from the Hoboken Superior Office Association. Is anybody else in Hoboken running? Because like a year ago, everybody was running. Rubin was going to run. DeFusco was going to run. There was talk about Fisher running. Everybody was going to run. Now you're hearing crickets out of there. So Robbie looks like he's going to have a clear path unless something changes. All right, we're going to break for commercial. When we come back, we'll get the show going. We'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
We're back. City Show here. Pat O Melia, you there? Remember on the bottom of the screen, all the information on how to get in touch with us and all. Love us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, whatever that is. Subscribe on YouTube. Today we're going to talk about COVID-19. We're relaxing a lot of the restrictions. We're going to talk about some of the stats and vaccination percentages. In Jersey City, they are going to approve a redevelopment plan for Central Avenue. We're going to talk about the CarePoint hospitals and congestion pricing in New York City and how it's going to affect people in New Jersey. Now, years ago, I used to drive tractor trailers over to New York City. If I do that now, if they put congestion pricing in, it will cost me about $100. Just I think it would be $80 on top of the $100 that the rigs pay now to go over the bridge or through the Holland Tunnel. All right, let's talk about COVID-19. We certainly see light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. Our numbers are cratering. You know, we're winning this. And the vaccines have helped. Of course, you doing the social distancing and wearing your mask and washing your hands and staying out of crowds and all that, all this is paying off. It looks like we'll have a normal summer. For that matter, it's like summer out there today. I got a short sleeve shirt on. The mask restrictions, the CDC says we don't have to wear them anymore. New Jersey, Father Murphy said, whoa, hold on, Nellie. We're going to hold on to the mask when we're indoors. You can take them off outdoors. I don't know who's wearing them outdoors. I wasn't one of those people, but you don't have to wear them outdoors. But if you're indoors, it's still mandatory here in New Jersey, at least for another couple of weeks. Murphy doesn't want to fall back. Actually, I didn't realize this till today. We are the only state that didn't have to reinstitute COVID restrictions. Many of the states that relaxed them had to bring them back. So I'll give the governor the benefit of the doubt on the indoor mask wearing. Honor system. Have you been vaccinated? Some people have, some haven't. I got the percentage of those by the age groups. You're going to start seeing a lot of separation. Sporting events, they were talking about with the NBA. You're going to have vaccinated sections. You're going to have non-vaccinated sections. The New York Yankees are talking about doing that at the stadium. They may have already implemented that. You're going to have to show your vaccination card or some proof that you've been vaccinated. But the thing is, how can you tell if someone's been vaccinated if they're on the honor system? Now, we were joking around on the Tom's River show where you see me there with a V on my head saying I've been vaccinated. You know, we may have to put something together like that to find out who's vaccinated and who isn't. And on Amazon, you can get little see-through cards to put your vaccination card in and have a little strap. It kind of looks official that way. Vacation, vaccinated, where does it stop? If we're going to have sections in sporting events, or we have just shopping hours at ShopRite for the vaccinated and the unvaccinated have to come in after 6 p.m. or something? Can non-vaccinated people get table service? We don't know who's vaccinated. I'm not sure it's legal for a retail operation to say, show me your papers. Show me that vaccination card. Prove to me you've been vaccinated. I'm not sure we want to make the retail operations the heavies here, the enforcers. Someone's at the bar, they're at a table, and you're going to serve them. How do we know if that person is vaccinated or not? And they don't have a mask on. And what we're working with is an honor system. And I don't know how well that's going to work. And what's interesting is like I said, we were joking around with the V, but there may be something needed like that. Because as well as we've been doing with the vaccinations, not as well as we thought. 65 and up did a tremendous job. You got 86% of 65-year-old and up in New Jersey vaccinated. 50 to 64, that goes down to 71%. On ages 30 to 49, 44%. 18 to 29 age group, 28%. And 16 and 17-year-olds, 28%. The seniors, the heavy seniors, in the 80s and so forth, they're all vaccinated. But then it starts dropping. The 50 to 64, we're at 71%. So that means there's like 30% running around unvaccinated. And then it gets interesting. Where you get to 30 to 49, they're at 44%. So we got a way to go before we can be sure on who's been vaccinated. And when you get into the younger groups, the 16 to the 29-year-old, they're only at 28% vaccinated. So I'm not sure when we're relaxing everything indoor. People are going to be back indoors. You got the summer season coming, but we're already seeing numbers here where only half of a certain age group has been vaccinated. That is grave concern for some people, and it should be. So again, get out there, get vaccinated. Let's get the hell away from all this. Get it in our rearview mirror, and let's try to enjoy the summer. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Hudson Regional Hospital, we promise to be prepared for your emergency.
We promise to provide world-class robotic surgical care.
We promise to treat you like family.
To provide accurate diagnostic care.
To provide the most innovative orthopedic care at your doorsteps.
We promise to treat your baby like our own.
To never stop investing in the best of spinal care.
To be with you every step of the way.
Here at Hudson Regional Hospital, we promise to take care of our community.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
We're back. You're watching The City Show. I'm here. We talked about COVID again. Get vaccinated. Let's get this all in our past here so we don't have to deal with it and we can move forward. Yeah, I know a lot of people are questioning the honor system of vaccination. And, look at the Yankees. You got 10 Yankees right now who were vaccinated. One, Gleyber Torres, had COVID back in November, has it again. And all those Yankees were fully vaccinated with the J&J, and they all contracted it again. So there's a chance you can catch it, even young people. And if a young person can catch it again, certainly the older one. So the best shot we have is get vaccinated. The Pfizer and Moderna, they're supposedly 95% effective. So if possible, who the hell wants to do it twice? I agree with you. But get the Pfizer and Moderna. Let's put this in our rearview mirror. Central Avenue. I'm a Heights guy. I'm a Central Avenue guy. Even I will admit it right now, and it's in my notes. I go out of my way to avoid Central Avenue, only because it is such a pain in the ass to drive down Central Avenue. Yeah, you got poorly timed lights. You got the delivery trucks, double parking. It is a huge. For that matter, I got a ticket. This is, I guess, about 3-4 years ago. Coming down Central Avenue, they had the truck in front of me. I go around the truck. I'm heading north. Go around the truck, and a rookie cop gets me. He's working with a senior cop. Pull me over. Gives me a ticket. I said, what do you want to do? And I just sit in a lane. Oh, you can't cross the double line. Okay. So I go to court in front of the judge, and there was a cop who was a bailiff. Turned out that cop worked in North District. And I asked the judge, can I ask a question here? Can I ask the officer here about double parking on Central Avenue and how blatant it is? And the cop's like, well, yeah, it is a huge problem. I said, that's why I had to go around. I'd never get home. And they threw the ticket out. So fortunately, that cop who was working the court was the North District cop at one time. Well, they're going to redevelop Central Avenue. They're going to vote on it, the city council, this week. They're going to take it from Griffith Street pretty much all the way to Bowers, just at the very edge buildings where Michael Youn had his store. That building's not affected. Everything else is going to be affected with this redevelopment. And all the talk is the emphasis is on parking. For that matter, I should have given John the picture of the development project, the artist rendering. I neglected to do that. We should have that up, but another time. In the artist rendering is like the 7-story building they're going to build on what we call the Burger King lot. And there's going to be ground floor retail, I think first floor retail to some degree. There is going to be a ton of residential units in this. Plus, there's going to be 3, I think, 4-story buildings on Griffith and Cambridge. They keep talking about 400 parking spots. Now, there's one thing I've been pushing Philip about since he's been mayor, is his lack of commitment to parking. That, in my opinion, that is Steve's weak point. We're talking 400 spots in this new development. Well, let's knock that down to 340 because we're going to lose 60 spots when we build the new North Precinct on Central Avenue. That's being built on, guess what, a parking lot. And we lost about 16 spots on the parking lot by the post office. It's not open to the public anymore. So that brings us down to 320 parking spots. And with the amount of residential units in this project, that could look like it. That might be part of the redevelopment there. John is frantically trying to find a picture, but don't worry about it. There's going to be a lot of residential units. And I'm sure each one of those residential units will get at least a parking spot. So I don't know what the net value in parking spots is going to be for the avenue. But I think it's overdue. that we do something on Central. And it's funny that the last real development we did on Central Avenue is this spot. That's where you have the Burger King. You got the Burger King lot, the dance studio. That was all done in the last 30 years or so. That's the last development on Central Avenue. And anybody who says that when they're talking about redevelopment project and new residential units, they always have that thing, well, no, the people who are going to be living there, they won't have cars because most of them are coming from New York City. That is so much BS. You want to see how much BS that is when we build something they're not going to use cars or want to have a car if they move over from New York? Go down to 18th and Jersey Avenue by the Soho, Lost there, Iron State, and see how many cars are all around there. One time there were no cars. Now the thing is flooded with cars down there. When we built those residential units, they didn't have enough parking. So the parking is all the way up Oakland Avenue, all the way around the back. Parking is needed everywhere. All right, we're going to break the commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
We're back, City Show. Pat O Melia talking about Central Avenue a little bit more. Parking in the Heights has always been a problem. And one of the weaknesses with Steve Phillips' 2 years as mayor is creating parking. Actually, we lost parking under Steve. I guess not everybody's perfect. Been a problem for years, and we missed so many opportunities to reverse that. On my block alone, I fought to get a municipal lot on Congress Street. And we got that when Carmen Benicia and Brett Schindler were the mayor. We had 2 other lots on Congress I wanted to get, but we didn't do that. We had a few other shots at getting those lots. We didn't do that. And we had, opportunities over the years with vacant lots and homes that were derelict that could have been knocked down and built pocket parking lots, as we call them, where you can take 10, 12, 16 cars off the street. Parking, yes, does retail need parking? Yeah. But you know who needs parking more? The people who live in that area. It becomes a quality of life issue that you can come home from work and park your car and not worry about becoming civilian patrol by riding around trying to find a spot. Huge quality of life issue. And, we'll pick up more on this. See, I'm positive the ordinance for the redevelopment will be passed. But these are the things that parking is essential in the Heights. If retail is going to prosper, you're going to need parking, and you're going to need anchor tenants. That's something we don't have on Central Avenue. But is it necessary? Maybe not, because you look at Bergen Line Avenue in North Bergen, there aren't huge anchor tenants there, but they have tons of parking. North Bergen has more municipal parking lots than Jersey City. There's something wrong with that when you got a township with more parking than the city of Jersey City. All right, Bayonne Medical Center. We're focusing on the Bayonne Medical Center with the eminent domain ordinance that was up for a vote last week in Bayonne, and they tabled it. You still have to look at these hospitals, the CarePoint hospitals, as 3 units, as 1 unit. You got Bayonne, Christ Hospital, and Hoboken. Right now, the emphasis is on eminent domain with Bayonne, and Bayonne's going to have to come up with $95 million to like $110 million for the land and the buildings, and then their game plan is they're going to rent the building back to some other hospital operator who's not in Hudson County and pay the $110 million eminent domain off with rentals. That ain't going to work. And also, it's all predicated on having a successful hospital operation. The hospital's been having a very difficult time. And to have a standalone hospital be profitable in Bayonne when you got RWJ Barnabas's brand new facility on Broadway, you got the Jersey City Medical Center not that far away on Grand Avenue, plus Greenville Hospital, you're up against a behemoth in RWJ Barnabas. The only way these hospitals will survive is if they're sold as a package. In the case with Hudson Regional Hospital, the operators of Secaucus Hospital, if they can put the 4 hospitals together, it has a real good shot at being profitable as a system. Now, if it isn't profitable, what happens? You know, I'm not going to knock business, but RWJ Barnabas could walk in, because they were going to buy Christ and Hoboken. They didn't want Bayonne, because they already have a brand new facility in Bayonne. But you take Jersey City, if RWJ Barnabas had purchased Christ Hospital, and they put a memo of understanding in to buy it, but the CarePoint greed and the partnership made it impossible to get that sale done, because everybody was just grabbing as much money as they could out of the CarePoint hospitals, that they created this predicament that these hospitals are in now, strictly by greed. And everybody trying to better themselves here, where Hudson Regional, they bought the land and the building for, I forget the amount of money, it was like $80 million, $90 million in Bayonne, and they had an offer on the table for Christ and Hoboken, and then it all fell apart because of the partnership set up with the CarePoint organization. You know, if, as I was saying, if RWJ Barnabas, Jersey City Medical Center, took over Christ Hospital, they would have medical dominance in Jersey City. And that's something you don't want. One medical organization having medical dominance in a city, especially one as large as Jersey City. They would be calling the shots. They would control all the hospitals. And sadly, we only have 2 left. Well, 3 if you want to count Greenville Hospital. You know, years ago, we had problem. We had Frank St. Francis. All these hospitals are gone. You know, you would have a hospital organization dictating to physicians on how to operate their practices, or you don't get privileges at the hospital. So you need freedom of the hospitals. You don't want one operator controlling all the hospitals in one city. And that's potentially possible here if RWJ were to take over Christ Hospital. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Pen & Pencil Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at penandpencilproperties.com. Pen & Pencil Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Cutting-edge surgical care is right here in Secaucus.
Robotic surgery is safer.
Shorter hospital stays.
Smaller abdominal incisions, the size of an M&M. Here at Hudson Regional, we provide world-class robotic surgical care.
We're back. City Show, Pat O Melia here. You just seen a Hudson Regional Hospital. Probably saying, well, we're advertising with Pat, that's why. Not exactly. I had concerns long before Hudson Regional came on the scene. Again, losing control of the medical situation in Jersey City with one organization being medically dominant in the city. I had those issues. I had spoken to Mayor Fulop in the past about that. Again, I think all 3 of these hospitals, what Bayonne's doing, they want to protect Bayonne. And all the municipalities have to be protected to some degree. Guarantees have to be given. You know, I believe Sharon Nordowski, the council president in Bayonne, they were talking about deed restrictions on the titles for the land. Really, it's got to be negotiated. You want to throw that out there at the last minute over the threat that we'll take your property. But there are guarantees that can be made. And, you know, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, right of first refusal, things can be done to lessen the concern of the municipalities. But let's not be silly here. These hospitals have been in trouble before. Christ Hospital was sold to CarePoint. They were going bankrupt. Hoboken University Hospital, the city owned it for a while because of problems with profitability. We got to make sure the municipalities are secure, they're going to have medical care, and that we have a professional operator with Hudson County roots operating the hospitals. All right, congestion pricing in New York City. If you drive into New York City, and with the pandemic, I don't know how many people are going to take a train or a bus, drive into a COVID tube over there. I wouldn't. Now, I'm not big on going over to New York City, never was. If you take out my employment that would send me over there, like I said, years ago, when I was in radio, we didn't have enough sponsors to pay for the radio show then. So I used to drive tractor trailers at night to Bed Bath & Beyond making deliveries to pay for that radio show. So I used to drive over then during, 9/11 happened. I was driving rigs over there then. It is extremely expensive. When I was doing the radio show on Broadway in New York, it cost me $3 to go through the tunnel. Today, to go through the tunnel with a car is $16. Now, I left radio in 2005. And from $3 to $16 to go through a tunnel that I'm sure has already been paid for. I believe the Holland Tunnel, 1927. Yeah, I think we paid for that. What New York City is trying to do is put in congestion pricing. Basically, when you come off the GW Bridge, you're trying to get into New York City, you're going to pay another fee. Now, to go over the GW Bridge for a car, it is $16. For a straight job is, one of the smaller trucks. You see, Yellow Freight uses them. Ryder Truck Rentals uses them. They're very common for freight. They're certainly smaller than a rig. Straight job is $66 to go over the GW Bridge. A tractor trailer, 5-axle, $110 to go over that bridge. The George Washington Bridge opened in 1931. I'm sure it's paid off by now also, but we have these ridiculous tolls. And these tolls and that congestion pricing really is aimed, the congestion pricing really is aimed at New Jersey drivers going into Midtown. What we have, and we're putting a Jersey fight together, that's what we're calling it here. If congestion pricing goes into effect in New York City, and I know some people are going to say, well, it's in effect in London, and it works in London. Yeah, well, London isn't New Jersey. We're going to fight back, and we're going to put a fee on the tolls to reimburse Jersey drivers. We'll put a fee in on New York drivers. And it's really a tit for tat there. So really what we don't need is congestion pricing at all. But you notice with the bridges and tunnels, who gets the dirty end of the bridges and tunnels? We do. The toll collectors, they're all on the Jersey side. They're not collecting any tolls on the New York side. So we get the idling and all that other crap going on. We always get the short end of the stick. And here's another case where New York's trying to stick it to us again by putting that congestion pricing in, and really it's going to affect Jersey drivers. And deliveries being made over there, and that money's going to have to be passed over to the consumers. So, bad idea, but I appreciate New Jersey leaders and elected officials standing up and putting together a Jersey fight. All right, we're out of show. You be good, you be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.